What is going on, guys? Welcome to a new PHP tutorial. In this tutorial, we are going to speak about something called a variable in PHP. Hold up. What is a variable in PHP? A variable is a name given to a specific location in a memory, and that memory space is later used to hold some data. Confused? I totally get it, but don't panic, no heart attack. Let me show you what real variable is. Great? So, the variable is something that we use to hold some data in PHP. Let me give you an example of how to create a variable in PHP. We first start by a $ symbol, and every time when PHP sees this $ symbol, it's going to remember like, okay, this dude is going to create a variable. And the second thing for you to do is to decide what you want to call your variable. Let me call my variable like name. So I'm just giving, you can call it like, okay, dog. You can call it anything like, okay, sandwich. You can call it anything you want to call it, okay? I'm going to call my name, okay? And then I put equal and double quotes and at the end I will put a semicolon. Okay, so here it is. This is the way we create a variable. Okay, so after creating a variable like this, let us give it like a value. Let me give it this value. This is Goga, is my name. So and come down here and try to print it on a screen. I do it like, I hope you remember that echo statement is used to print something on screen. So after writing echo, I just came here and copy this variable name and paste it here and put a semicolon. And a semicolon is just to tell PHP like, PHP, don't get mad. This is the end of the line. Anything behind me is just a new line. So we put a semicolon on every end of PHP statement. So let me save it and go here into my browser window. This is a Firefox open. As you can see, I've already signed it. It's into my localhost. PHP tutorial is my folder I've created in the previous tutorial. So let me come here and refresh it. It will print out Goga because it's a value of this variable. But still confused? Don't worry. Here it is another thing. You will want like, why doesn't this dude just echo something like this? Okay. And he come here and he put like Goga and native, and exactly if we come on the refresh, we have two identical names. Okay. It means this one works and this one works. But here we are printing just a string, and here we are printing a variable. You see? Here we are printing a variable, and here we are printing a string, which most of the time when we print a string, we are printing something static. And when we are trying to print a variable, we are printing something dynamic. What do I mean by that? Man, don't die, don't go. Just wait, let me show you in a real life example. Do you remember something called Facebook? Do you remember something called Facebook? Okay, let me give you a title of variable. Okay. Variable. And after giving it this variable, I was telling you about something called Facebook. So what is a Facebook? Facebook, you remember when you are about to log in, they ask you to enter something called a username and another thing called a password, right? All right. So as you remember, in Facebook, after entering those data, you press on a login button. Okay? Here it is. I create a form and I create two input. The first input type is going to be text, and the name is going to be, let me give it, you can call it anything you want. You can call it like, hey, sandwich, don't go home today. You can call it anything you want to call it, but I'm going to call mine because we are creating a Facebook. I know this is nothing like Facebook, but you know, let's just imagine we are pro, we are working on Facebook. Alright? So let me call mine as a username. Alright? And I will copy this one because they asked me a username and a password, and this one I will call it password. Okay, password, and type is text. Great. And the third thing is, after entering your stuff, they ask you to press on a button which has a value of login, but the type is submit is submit, and the name you can give it any name you want. I'm going to call it submit, but for you not to be confused, I will just skip I and write T, sub T. So not submit, it's like sub T. Okay, and I will give it a value of login. All right, great. So right, let's see what we have so far into our browser. All right. If you come here and refresh it, you see we have a Facebook. We are pro. We are good to go. But at the moment, when you write anything here, it's not going to create anything. Username and password, and you write to it. It's not going to create anything when you create here. It's just nonsense. It's just going to happen like that. Okay. But let's come back here and show you how we are going to work on PHP, okay? So we are going to work on PHP like this. We are going to create a variable. What I meant is we are going to create a variable. Let me create first variable, and you can call it whatever you want to call it. A variable called name, username. And let me first stop here and let me create another variable called like password. And let me leave it just here. And so here I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to say like, okay, PHP, I need you to go into this form, and by using this method called this method, let me give it a method of get. Guys, and before I continue, if you see something that is really not familiar with you, don't panic, okay? Just wait for a couple of coming tutorial. I'm going to go through all this stuff, all right? So don't panic, don't get confused. We're together, right? So here we have something called a method, and in form there is another thing called action, but we don't need action because we are in the same page, all right? So let's just focus on method. And with this method is the way that this form is going to pass the information you hold to a PHP. Look here what I mean. We come here by using something called a super global variable. Let's use this one called get. Okay, this is the way we create a super global variable. This get is underscore, dollar sign symbol, underscore, and get is something we call a super global variable in PHP. So what it used for is, by writing like this, we are telling like, okay, your variable, we need you to hold a data, and this data, we will bring it by using this stuff called super global variable. And the way the data we want you to hold is the data of an input into the form, and this input is called username. So this variable, this PHP will go into that form and find something called username, and after finding that stuff called username, it will take the data that we have pasted to this input and assign it to this variable called username. And also we come again, and let me copy this and paste it here because we want to give it, we want to come here and say like, okay, PHP, we want you again to go here and find something called password. And after finding this stuff called the password, bring the data we have passed to it and assign it to a variable called password. Alright? And after we come here, let me come here and write like, okay, let me refresh it first, and let me write like, okay, Goga, I like it like that, I like it like this, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, alright? And later, imagine we are using Facebook, I'm about to see my friends on Facebook, and I want to log in, and I click yes, boom, everything disappeared. But if you can see on top here, we have something, okay, perfect. We have a username equal to Goga and a password equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this means this variable called username, it holds the name of Goga, and this password, it holds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, and let me show you the way we go do it. I know, like I've told you, we are working on Facebook, but you know, we are going to do something we were not supposed to be doing. We are going to print this username and password. As you know, on Facebook, username and password, you will never print them, okay? But let's just to demonstrate what we've been doing, let me show you the way. Let's say like we are going to print out this data, okay? I will just come here and say like, okay, what is going on? I'll say like echo, okay, echo, your username is and come here and bring this variable. You see, it's a variable I am printing, okay? And bring it here and concatenation symbol and paste it, concatenation operator, and let me break it. Let me put a line break here at the end for it to be on new line, okay? Okay, break. And let me also come and print my password. Okay, what is going on? I don't know. Let me also print like your password is, okay, let me do it like this, and come here and okay, copy this variable and bring it here in a concatenation operator, paste and a concatenation operator, and I put a break. No, there is no need for break here. There is no need for break. Okay, I can just leave it like this, and I save it. Okay, then after I save it, let us go back here and refresh and see what we have so far. Right? Perfect. You see what we have? We have print this variable here. I have printed a username, and here they tell me like a username. Your username is Goga, and your password is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So it means is this data with the data we've entered here. The data we've entered here. These they were transferred and stored into a specific location in a memory, and that space. The first location is called username, and the second space is called password. So those are the space that we have used in this tutorial to hold some data that we have entered in these two fields. All right. So I hope guys it makes sense. I don't know if there is something that's really confusing you, and anything you cannot get which I have not yet explained, like this what we call super global variable. You have just wait for a couple of coming tutorials. I will make sure to break them down. Right? So guys, I hope you enjoy this video, and if you really like this video, please leave a thumbs up, give me a comment with any kind of question or anything, man. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I really have a good time sharing this PHP stuff. So have a great day.